welcome everybody to the June Open SCS qualifying event. This is Spiff coming at you with round one. I'm joined today by Alpha Hex. Now, before we dive in, I do just want to give a big shout out to Nite of Misfortune who put this tournament together for us. And with that, we're going to dive right into the player introductions. Alpha Hex, why don't you go ahead and introduce our first player in the top right?
In the top right corner, we have Vanady spawning in as the Teal Aeon player, dropping down 3 land factories and some generators. Probably going for... let me check. Yep, that's Harvogs in the factories. So it's going to be an early attack on the other player.
Alright, and on the other side of the map, spawning in as the orange Aeon player, we have FoxTermelon, who has opened up with a very fast air factory and is filling in his eco now. So that's going to be an interesting thing here because we've got one player pushing heavy on land and the other player opening with air. Fox is not sending out a scout though, so I wonder if he has a suspicion that this is coming.
Well, it might not be a suspicion, but you know, it can be better to hide your airplanes until you get enough of them to do some damage, because as long as Vanady doesn't have any anti-air, then, you know, sniping radars and engineers is going to be a lot stronger, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how well Vanady is going to be able to defend against that with the anti-air that the bots can get.
And Vanity's first bots are coming in now and attacking this mass extractor. If you hold down shift, you can see this is a very Cybran-like sort of attack here coming in on both sides with these bots. Nice radar station in the center there, so Vanity's going to see everything here, and I'm pretty sure he's going to see the airplanes. If he doesn't already, he will now. He does manage to take out a mass extractor. That's huge at this point in the game. That is huge.
And we do see some charges coming out from FoxTermelon, which do take a bit longer to build and are slightly more expensive, so there's not that many of them yet, but if he manages to get enough of them, then yeah, it's going to be very hard to push into. And Vanity sacrificed capturing a factory, and he gets it.
Oh wow!
So that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, well, those shots.
FoxTermelon loses his last unit, so
those shots came out, and then they didn't focus fire down the engineer, so they took like a couple of shots at him, but. Alright,
Foxter tried to capture it back, but this is the disadvantage of, building your factory this far forward. That's why a lot of players prefer to put the first land factory after the first air factory, like right where they spawn, because you don't really manage to get enough units out, and
Fox is down in the red. Very quick game one here. Fox goes down, and Vanity's ACU does not. So Vanady takes game one with a very aggressive push. We're going to take a very short break, get game two set up, and we'll be right back to bring you that. Alright, welcome back everybody for game two. This is Spiff, joined by Alpha Hex, and we're bringing you game two of round one here. Alpha, why don't you go ahead and introduce the player on the right for us?
On the right side we have FoxTermelon spawning in as the orange Aeon player, going for a build that's a bit heavier on the eco and research station, and can't really tell what he's going to be doing yet. And who do we have on the left side, Spiff?
Well, on the left side of the map, spawning in as the Teal Aeon player, it is Vanady, who has started off with 2 very quick air factories, so kind of almost a reversal here, since Fox opened up air in our first game.
And we can now see that he's dropping down his first land factory now, so it is a bit of a reversal, except that there's a research station on the field now.
Yeah, that research station is very interesting because this map does have a little bit of a longer rush, maybe not a longer rush distance, but you got to go around these choke points.
It's smaller, but there's a bit of a zigzag, so airplanes are definitely strong here, I'd say, especially with the choke points that you get.
And Vanady is just dumping everything into producing these planes. He has not expanded at all. Meanwhile, he's bombing these engineers of FoxTermelon that are trying to expand. And Fox is pumping out some mobile AA. Not going for the bots himself this time. I think that's actually a good move, because the bot AA just doesn't get a whole lot done. And Vanady now...
This is a very fast air rush build, and I'm not sure if the second generator is necessary, but it does look like Vanity's going to try to expand at least a little bit. But you can actually get away with a single generator if you're doing this build, but you kind of kill your eco there.
Well, that's
And
probably why I put the second one down.
Yeah, Vanady manages to kill both engineers, which is gonna kill that expansion. Well, the top right, not the 4 extra that Fox just managed to get. And he might have to slow down an air here because airplanes aren't going to work against that much anti-air.
And in fact, he has stopped his air factories and he's dumping all of his eco into building more eco now. Replacement engineer popping out for FoxTermelon there. This is a lot of planes for this early in the game. We're not even at 3 minutes.
Well, he was assisting his factories for most of that, so, you know, just get enough planes out to kill some engineers, harass a little, and then switch into land. And as you can see, Fox doesn't really have anything here he could attack with. Like, he has nothing but anti-air, basically.
One tank.
Vanady doesn't even need to worry about PDs here. He can catch up on land, and the only thing he has to worry about is that research station, which sets back FoxTermelon 375 mass, which is way more than a factory.
And Vanady is going to slowly start getting an eco advantage here as well. He's got one more mass extractor and he's got another one that's about to build as well. What do you think about that radar placement for FoxTermelon? Usually we see it a little bit further up to cover the center.
Well, it's a risk-reward thing. If you put it there, you can't really kill it with missile launchers. They're hugging the edge of the middle section. But I don't really understand why Fox would be doing that, because Vanady's not going to be attacking him with land. That's what Fox, is supposed to be doing, pushing in land and then trying to cover his army with enough anti-air. But maybe he's concerned that Vanady would try to snipe the radar even through the anti-air at a key moment in the game.
There's definitely enough planes there to snipe it, but it is now under a factory shield, so that's going to keep it safe. And a gantry. Okay, so now we see that research station was for a very specific purpose, but what's going to pop out of this gantry? It's only 5 minutes, so I don't think it could really be anything except an urchin now, right?
Yeah, there's no way it's anything except an urchin now. With one research station, I don't think you can get to anything else. So I think Fox really wants to punish Vanady for not, having enough land units, because with that urchin now, he's not going to have to worry about point defenses, and he clearly doesn't have to worry about teleport, because Vanady's going to be behind on research, since he dumped all of his resources into airplanes.
And yep, that urchin now begins building almost immediately as soon as the gantry is done. Everyone assisting it. So it's going to pop out real fast. And I don't know that Vanady really has anything to deal with this right now. He's only got a couple of tanks. That's really not enough air to kill an urchin now before it does a lot of damage.
I think the right move here would have been to just double down on air and just spam out gunships. That's the meta on a lot of the maps, because Aeon doesn't get structure detonate like Cybern does, so all they can do is just spam anti-air, but that kind of limits how far Fox can expand, and that buys Vanady enough time to really take over his entire half of the map and then try to catch up on land. But I think this might be a scouting problem, because Vanady is probably overcommitted on the land, while Fox isn't really rushing him with anything. Fox is just going for that urchin now, and the tanks aren't really going to help against that.
Yeah, I don't even really know if Vanady knows what's coming. I don't think the planes spotted out the gantry, did they?
No.
I don't think that radar reaches far enough to see that it's a gantry on radar either, so this urchin now is going to roll out, and there's just not a whole lot that Vanady has to defend against it at the moment. So hopefully we'll see. Yeah, it looks like FoxTermelon.
Vanady's loading his units into transport, and he might try to... Oh, okay, no, he's just going to the back of the base, but I know Unknown Desert does this. He can actually get to the airplane teleport pretty fast and try to play like that, because it has way more range than land teleport. But I don't think Vanady even knows what's coming here. He hasn't scouted the urchin house yet, and yeah, this might be a quick game.
Another land factory going down in the center to kind of set up a forward base for this. Oh yeah, here comes the drop as well. That radar goes down. I think there's a bunch of MMLs still in that transport, isn't there?
Yeah, he hasn't dropped everything, and I'm not sure how good of a move this is because Vanity knows that there's a land factory there and engineers, so even if FoxTermelon didn't have that Archie now, it wouldn't be that much of a problem defending that, especially with the factory shield.
A nice angle there too. I did not realize Urchinows could shoot up the hill there.
That's not a hill. Like, if you move the camera, those two sections are at the same
so they
height.
Are. It looks like a hill, doesn't it? Well, the Urchinow's not getting through that wall, and meanwhile on the other side, these MMLs had to back up so that their missiles didn't keep hitting that wall. Lots of things going to be destroyed on both sides of the map here, but still, there's just not a whole lot to stop this Urchinow. These tanks aren't going to be enough, but with these shields, I mean, maybe he gets something done here on the defense. And you were just saying he wasn't going to have to deal with point defenses. Well, he does now. FoxTermelon puts down a point defense for this forward attack.
Yeah, I was talking about FoxTermelon going for the Urchinow, but this looks like a very difficult situation for Vanity.
Yeah, absolutely. Point defense going down for Vanity as well, but Urchinow outranges it, so with that factory shield going down, and that factory is going to fall super fast now.
I think Vanity got a little too greedy on eco here, because you can see the only reason FoxTermelon would be placing down point defenses is if he was afraid of teleport, or maybe the transports, but I think those would just get shot down by the anti-air too fast. And Vanity doesn't have a single research station yet, so there's no way... Oh, actually, he's building them on the bottom. Never mind.
Spamming out research at the bottom. But yeah, like you said, I mean, he dumped so much into eco and expanding his eco, and meanwhile, FoxTermelon just kind of did, I don't want to say a sneaky build, but he did something that's a little bit more all-in. He dumped all of his resources into getting these experimentals out. Honestly, I love it. We never see Urchinows in competitive play, and it's great to see something a little bit different and unexpected. Meanwhile, those MMLs still going to town in the back of Fox's base. They have managed to take out 3 mass extractors and an energy generator, but Vanity's front is just crumbling to the Urchinows. Trying to escape with his commander. He's going to lose his entire main base here.
I would love to see how much mass Vanity's getting, because I don't think with that much mass you're limited to, like, what was it, 4 land factories? He's had this air factories paused the whole time.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, he definitely could have.
I don't know if you caught that. Vanity was trying to capture the gantry, but the Urchinow popped out and killed the engineer before it flew.
Well, I don't think it's... Yeah, it probably wouldn't have made a difference, since there's already 4 experimentals on the field, and Vanity's just running around with his commander.
It would have been annoying. But that's about it. And Fox is rebuilding on the Rex there. Always a good move.
This is why I don't really like building the generators in your expansions, because if you look in the top left, Vanity's been placing all of his generators in there, but if he had them in his main base, then at least, you know, he would have had the chance of upgrading the laser upgrade for the generators and defending against the Urchinows like that, with some shields maybe, but those generators are not too helpful in the corner of the map.
Yeah, and he built an awful lot of them too, which, I mean, probably, maybe he was going for air teleport, because you do need a lot of energy for that, but I think it ended up just kind of being a lot of sunk mass that he then couldn't use for units to defend against this push. Is he going to load his commander in that transport, or is he giving up?
Yeah, he must have been caught off guard there, because that was a very fast push from Fox, and Vanity was probably hoping to defend with, you know, point defenses and shields, but since Urchinow's completely outranged that, it's no good.
Yeah, he was trying to throw up another air factory in the corner there, but Don't know exactly what he thinks he's going to accomplish with it. His main base is gone. He does have another air factory down here and more research stations. I wonder if he's dumping that RP into his commander at this point.
He might be going for like a last-ditch gunship snipe. You can see he's trying to build around the edges just to buy time and maybe get enough airplanes out to do something, but I think it's way too late. With the eco that FoxTermelon has, he could just build lines and lines of anti-air if he wanted to.
Yeah, the only thing he's built out of these factories so far is transports and engineers. So trying to get himself reestablished, but without any control of the center of the map, it's going to be pretty difficult.
This map is way too small for that, but, on maps like Emerald Crater, you can actually get away with that. Even if you lose your main base, you can just keep building around the edges and keep pumping out airplanes, but there's not that much space and mass extractors here for Vanady to really take.
And we're still not actually seeing any airplanes, it's all just engineers. More factories, more mass extractors, but how long is he really going to be able to put up to avoid the inevitable here?
Well, Vanady did lose all of his airplanes, so, to be fair, he probably doesn't realize how bad the situation is here. I don't think he even has a radar. He's just placing his only radar on the top of the map where his ACU is. He didn't have anything on the bottom of the map. So, we can see everything, but he can't.
And Fox is also pumping out a bunch of engineers to take advantage of the giant eco he's managed to build for himself. This southern expansion will go down, although is that engineer trying to reclaim the Urchin now? What?
Gotta use all the DPS you can get.
Alright, here comes the commander. Where's he going? What does he think he's going to get done? Is he going to try to capture something, or maybe he's looking for the other ACU to overcharge?
Yeah, he did have quite a bit of research stations, but I think it shouldn't be too hard for Fox to defend against this. And FoxTermelon is building a nuke silo. So
overkill.
That's where his research has been going.
These engineers in the main base is that a reclaim or a capture? That's a capture, I think. So, yeah, Vanady captures some stuff in the main base. He's just basically trying to be sneaky here, but
there's only so much you can do here. Like I said, I don't think Vanady realizes just how bad the situation is without the intel.
I think he probably realizes. He still thinks he might be able to pull it back from here. Those engineers are doing some work in the main base of FoxTermelon. They've captured one factory. They're putting down a point defense. That's going to cause a lot of trouble for Fox, but he's got a whole nother main base over here with a nuke silo.
And it's cooking already, so in 3 minutes we're going to see a nuke. Assuming Vanady survives.
And that main base of Fox still just getting taken out little bit by little bit. Fox has a lot of engineers out on the field as well, but a lot of them just aren't doing anything. Mr. Steele, your girl would be very upset.
Thank God he isn't here. I think Vanady just activated the radar overdrive. You could see the little animation it has in the middle. So he should be able to see everything that's going on now, and I'm not sure if he's gonna prolong this any longer. He's still building research stations, so I think he's gonna try to snipe his ACU, but the moment Vanity's gonna teleport in, we're just gonna see all of those generators activate, and yeah, Vanity's probably gonna just get melted by the lasers.
Yeah, I don't recall if electroshock is a prerequisite to nukes, but if you're already investing
it's not. It's not.
But if you're already investing in the structure research tree, then you might as well.
Yeah, I think you go Hunker for 1 research, then you have Shields for 5, then you have I'm not sure if there's something in the way, but there's definitely Sacrifice Heal on the way, and then Nukes. And I think the thing No, I think it's just straight from shields to sacrifice seal, so electroshock is on like a completely different branch on the bottom.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, I mean, these two players would definitely know better than me because they are both always Aeon. And Fox is pumping out a whole bunch of Harvogs now, too. I don't know that they're going to do a ton to keep him safe, but he's got a pretty solid position here.
I don't like how Fox isn't leaving any units in the bases that he destroyed, because Vanity is just trying to use the transports to drop engineers back into, destroyed territory to reclaim it again. And yeah, even a couple airplanes would stop that. And we do see a strategic launch, and it's just going for his ACU. I think he's too close there to react, and...
Nope, it's going for the buildings.
Nope. Interesting. That does not look like it's worth it. Like, nukes cost 1,000 mass, and he killed 2 research stations and, like, a factory there with 2 mass extractors.
Yeah, but like 1,000 mass at this point in the game when he's got almost the entire map. Yeah.
Well, there's like a million different ways to end the game, like, in half the time.
Honestly, that's the thing, is the time. That's the biggest factor here, because nukes take so long. The mass is nothing to him at this point. Another research station going down as well. He's not building another nuke. He has planes of his own now, too. These factories have been doing a lot of work with with their TAC missile launchers, taking down a lot of those research stations. I think we just saw radar overdrive again, maybe? I don't know. Alright, well, Vanity's just kind of roaming around the map with his ACU trying to find an angle, but he's got a big blob of bots coming in. And, I don't know, maybe these bots go for the base in the lower right instead of the ACU. I think actually that would probably be the better move, strategically speaking, just because you don't want to leave any resources. If you can get the ACU on its own with no buildings to support it, that'd be great.
I don't understand why Fox isn't making more airplanes, because what is Vanity going to do against that? The commander anti-air is good, but it only gets you so far.
And he doesn't have any other anti-air at this point, except... Nope, nothing on that factory.
Yeah. And it would have completely stopped the transports earlier, so... This is taking way longer than it should.
I'm not going to complain too much about it, though, because I think Fox is doing the safer thing. He's not making an aggressive all-out play for this. He's just being safe, taking advantage of the lead that he has, and making sure that he stays ahead. Or, to put it another way, it's always better to cripple your opponent and maintain your position of power than it is to go for the snipe and not get it.
Well, I mean, if Vanity has overcharge or the electroshock, then those spots would be completely useless. And the only thing left
there's electroshock.
Yeah. Like, I think airplanes would be the safe option here to maintain that position of power with this much map dominance.
There's really no reason for FoxTermelon not to build a couple more air factories.
I think they just might be messing around, because Vanity's still flying around with that transport.
I think Vanity's going
finally
for overcharge.
Gonna kill it.
Yeah, I think Vanity's going for overcharge, and he's just hoping that maybe he can pull off a snipe before he himself gets sniped. There's the overcharge. Actually, that was not the most effective overcharge. I mean, he got a few groups of units there, but a lot of the hits just went on single units.
I think it's just way too many bots here. He's getting swarmed, and even with overcharge, he's having problems keeping his distance. And I think he tried to heal himself there with the nanites, but the bots are just so close that the nanites automatically...
I don't know, I couldn't tell. I thought maybe the nanites did get the heal off, but it just doesn't matter.
Oh look, there's you can see the there's a it leaves like a little explosion, and it's, you know, different size than the rest of the units.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
Well, yeah, you'd have to like watch back to be sure, but pretty sure I saw nanites there, and I don't think Vanady was able to, yeah, get teleport in time there.
No.
Not enough resources.
Well, hey, that was a really good series, though. Tied up 1-1, so both of these players are going to be in a pretty good position going into round 2 here. All right, well, thanks for joining us, everyone. We're going to take a short break. We're going to get round 2 started, and we'll be back in, I don't know, probably 15 minutes or so with round number 2. Don't go anywhere.
If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.